For part 3, I go a little bit more in depth with that listening and learning, specifics how you can do this, because just saying the words, yeah, you need to listen to your body, it doesn't give much context. It's actually very hard. So today I'm going to go that a little bit deeper into what I am talking about. So if you're new, make sure to scan back to part 1 and part 2, subscribe to the channel, and what's the word on Spotify? Follow, I guess. Is it follow? Yes. If you're new, follow and subscribe. Listening and learning to your body. Grabbing a pen and a paper is the start to this, because you want to be able to track. If you can't measure it, if you can't track it, then it's really hard to remember it, because you might be thinking, you do this just in your mind. You might think, okay, I've had this food, these work, they don't. Months later, you probably won't remember that at all. So having it recorded down is the best way for this to work at the start. Now, like I said, if you're new, please listen to part 2, because there isn't much context otherwise going into part 3. So it's very specific. What can we do? So now you've got your pen and a paper. This is the time to really track. Now, I'm not just talking about a day, 2 days, 3 days. I'm talking about a week, a month, 2 months, 3 months, and beyond, because this is a lifelong practice. Of course, you get to the point where you don't need a pen and paper. You've got to a point where you know how certain foods make you feel. You know how certain foods and drinks make your skin feel, and how you react to food, and how you recover at the gym, and I had a stomach ache with that food or that food group, I'm going to avoid that. You know the cues and everything by now if you've done it for a long period of time. But at the start, pen and a paper. So let's say you're trying the vegetarian diet, which is just vegetables, no meat. Pescatarian, potentially, if you're just eating fish, but let's say you're not eating any meat sources, fish or white meat, red meat. So what would you do? Okay, well, I'm on a vegetarian diet. Let me start tracking. Okay, what vegetables am I eating today? Okay, so breakfast I had some salad, I had some fruit with it, I sprinkled it with some olive oil. Okay, how did I feel there? I didn't feel that full there. I could have reached for many other snacks. So at breakfast you would put, okay, didn't feel satiated or didn't feel full. Note down what you had. And you're not going to change anything yet. You're just simply recording. Then you go to lunch. Okay, lunch, I had more of a substantial lunch. There's so, I could literally list millions of options probably, but you would be thinking, okay, how did I feel after lunch? How did I feel after this food? Okay, did I feel irritable in my gut? Did I feel satiated? Could I have eaten more? I felt pretty alert. I felt very, very alive after that food group, after those foods. Boom, you jot it down. Felt this, felt that, felt this. Snacks as well. Did you have any snacks? What drinks did you have? Again, how did it make you feel? Did you feel dehydrated? Was the tongue moist? Was the tongue dry? Because they can indicate dehydration and hydration. So you're really being particular with everything that you're putting in your body. Because like I said, this is how you learn what you thrive off. You are going off your most trusted source of information, your own body. Like I said, it's hard because you got to put the work in, right? Then you would do dinner. I had dinner, I felt this, XXX after. Cool. You're not going to change anything. You're going to do that for 2 days, 3 days. You're going to do that for a week. And what you'll start to notice are patterns. You will notice patterns in your day, especially if you're eating a consistent diet. You will think, well, I've gone vegetarian, but my protein is about 10 grams a day. I really need to up it because I have no energy. I'm not recovering at the gym. I'm sleeping poorly. I'm agitated. Okay, so what are my protein sources? Okay, I can do lentils. I can do this. I can do this. I can add that in. Oh, maybe I could add that in as well. Then you add as you go. Now you're starting to implement change because you've done the groundwork. You've put the work in for you to understand what is missing or what you're having too much of or what isn't working, what is working essentially. And that's just one example of protein. You could be doing a carnivore diet. Let's flip it and say you're just eating meat. Okay, how do I feel just eating meat? I've just been eating eggs, fruit, honey, meat for a month. How do I feel? How has my skin felt? What patterns am I seeing? How am I sleeping? How am I recovering at the gym? What am I like in a relationship? Do I feel more comfortable in my own skin? Am I being nice to my girlfriend or boyfriend, my wife or my husband? You're looking at all areas in your health and the context of your life to gather information to understand, is this diet working? Is this food group working for me? You might think, I am feeling awful. Just eating meat. I need some damn vegetables. So you note down, okay, maybe just meat diet isn't enough. I need to start incorporating vegetables back in. Cool. Then you've realized, hey, I've tried the carnivore diet. It's not for me. You're moving on. And then you might try, and this isn't specific to diet, saying, I'm going to try veggie, vegan, keto, carnivore. You're doing this with food. Let's say you're not doing any diet and you're just eating food. You'd see how meat make. You would feel how meat made. Oh my word, I can't speak. You would feel how meat made you feel. There we go. Fish made you feel. Different types of meat. What did you feel in your gut? How was your digestion? Again, using different sources of information here. So if it's just single food groups and not necessarily a specific diet, you're doing exactly the same. Then over the course of the weeks, the months, you get my message here. You will find patterns and you will see that definitely works because you got it recorded. Pen and paper, black and white. You know what has been happening. You're not going off memory because you and I as humans, we are not great at recalling memory at all, especially when it comes to quantifiable statistics and numbers like this. We're not very good at it. We'll lie to ourselves and it won't be accurate. So when it's pen and paper, you can see, okay, these really worked. Look at these vegetables that made me feel good. I'm going to eat more of them. Look at these meats that made me feel pretty rubbish. I'm going to avoid them. I'm going to stick to the meats that made me feel good. Look at the fruits that made me feel damn amazing. Look at that energy at work. I didn't have much of them, but I felt good. Look at the fruits that made me feel too acidic. Maybe it hurt my tongue. I get that with pineapple. Look at these drinks that made me feel a spike and then a crash. Look at the drinks that I felt okay with if I had them in moderation. You see what I'm doing? You are your own scientist. And what you've put together is your diet plan. Is Lucy's diet plan, Anna's diet plan, Jeremy's diet plan, John's diet plan, whoever is watching. This is your diet plan. And in the end, you won't need your diary because, like I said, you've seen patterns, you've implemented change, you've seen what works, you've seen what doesn't. And then over time, you keep adapting. The body is always adapting. The body adapts to its environment. So you will change depending on location, depending on weather, depending on what is available. Your body might one day feel, I feel really good with those carbohydrates. The next day, hates them. 3 weeks ago, let's use me as an example. I've been drinking raw milk for about 8 years. And 3 weeks ago, I had some here in the US in California. Instantly felt rubbish. As soon as I had it, I did not feel good. And then I felt ill for like 3 weeks. Flu-like symptoms. So before, I was loving it. Could drink it all day. Now, don't even want to look at it. So our bodies can adapt very, very quickly. So what I'm saying is, you won't need your pen and paper, but you will always have to be learning. I'm still learning today. I'm learning that, okay, I've had too much caffeine. I need to cut down my coffee. Okay, I haven't had much water today. I need to up it. You're just a walking scientist. But once you do the repetitions, once you keep doing the work for yourself, it becomes so easy to just wake up and think, I shouldn't have eaten that. Okay, I'm going to avoid that. It's just fluid. It's just motion. Once you put the repetitions in. The hardest part, like anything, is getting started. But the best start, pen and paper, record. I would personally do a month at least, how everything makes you feel. But if you're talking a month in the scope of your lifetime, that is nothing. That is absolutely nothing. And if you want to build a sustainable practice, health practice, nutritional practice, not relying on dogma, not relying on someone else telling you what to do. This is the approach. This is your diet plan, because it comes from you. It comes from your body. You've put the work in, and you've listened to the internal cues and messages that your body is giving you to let you know what foods and drinks you thrive off and what foods and drinks you don't thrive off. So this is specific what I was talking about with listening and learning. Implement it, apply it, start doing it today, and trust me, you're going to learn so much about yourself, more than anyone, more than a watch or a laptop or a gadget or someone on social media can tell you. It's coming from you, the best source of information. So try that out. It will really, really help. See you for part 4. I hope you enjoyed today. And like I said, if you're new, give us a follow on Spotify. And if you're new on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. Let me know if this helps, by the way. I would really appreciate the feedback. See you soon.